Hello, and welcome to the GameShop MythCast, episode number 2. I am your host, Mythology's very own vocal terrorist, Jesse Voctor Rain, right here on the brand new MythCast channel. Up first, once again, the same as yesterday, we have Mythology's favourite Terran son. His name is Nathan! And opposing him, representing the clan UoM, his name is Gaofushuai! That is how I have decided to say that name. That's how it's gonna be. So, this is the very second episode, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. For those of you new to the MythCast concept, or in fact to myself at all, let me tell you what we are doing here. Essentially, every day, Monday to Friday, I will be uploading yet another replay of one of the Mythology players. I tend to get them in blocks, so we'll see blocks of players like Nathan, blocks of players like Spacey, and all the good jazz, hopefully some J-Power. But for those not familiar with us, we are a professional StarCraft 2 team, sponsored by GameShop, based in Holland with players all around Europe. Myself and Nathan come from the UK. And what we do is, we enter StarCraft 2 tournaments and we win money from them. And by we, I mean, of course, these players. My role is merely as an entertainer and as the official voice of Mythology. I put these videos together, any live streams we do, I'm involved in those, and all the good jazz that comes with that kind of stuff. I myself began life as a wrestler and a wrestling commentator and ring announcer in the northwest of England for about 7 or 8 years, and after a decade within the wrestling industry, I finally moved on and moved into StarCraft instead. And moving through a few teams before, I found a new home here in Mythology, and it's wonderful to be here. So it's TVP today, and as we can see, Nathan going for some straight up 2 racks. This is going to be some early aggression from him. Meanwhile, so far, just a standard build from the Prozos. We'll have to see if he intends to go into a quick expand, at which point we could see some damage done by Nathan. I'm imagining we're going to see Reapers, yeah, and that's exactly what we are seeing. That's not a shock to anyone who knows Nathan. Likes his standard build, and it's really good to see this kind of thing. Just had a conversation with him yesterday about the somewhat predictability of his nature, but right now, although it can be a criticism leveled at him, and it's one I've leveled at him a few times, it's something good for him. What it allows him to do is just be very comfortable in what he's doing. It allows him to react a bit better to whatever his opponent's doing, because he knows his build so well. But I like the slight experiment with the opening of 2 racks Reaper. We'll be able to find and, well, just annoy this seller. We're having the typical Protoss push. 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Mothership Core. The problem with this is there's quite a lot of Reapers out. Now, the Mothership Core will technically be able to deal with them, but it's not fast enough to do so on the open plains of Star Station. So, due to that, he's going to have to engage it a bit differently. Now, I don't know about engaging this Stalker straight up like that. He is losing a lot of health, but so far hasn't lost a single Reaper. Meanwhile, is throwing down a command center. So, it looks like the game is going to normalise pretty quickly after this. Both players with some slight early pressure attempted that essentially cancelled each other out. With that in mind, Nathan now just going to protect himself at home, and his opponent doing the same, bring the Mothership Core home to allow him to protect the Nexus and the expansion. Reapers, now realising that this must have happened, are going to be moving out again. Have to wait and see if they can get any damage or scouting done. Right now, just looking at this Onaga Watch House to make sure nothing special is going on. For those of you wondering, my mouth is still in a lot of pain. Had 2 teeth removed last week, which is the final legacy of my involvement in wrestling. But they are healing up nicely. I'm taking my painkillers, and hopefully by next week everything will be sorted. So, these 5 Reapers are in the main base now, and they're going straight for probe, and this is a wise move. Just get as much done as you can kill-wise. And see exactly what you can do. Oh man, sniping that sentry would have been lovely, but there's too much there. Nathan doesn't want to lose the Reapers. But man, I would have loved to have seen a sentry kill. That's 100 gas would have been completely wasted there. But knowing that his opponent's forces are all the way back there, let's just take a look. Okay, he doesn't yet know about the expansion. But he's probably, with seeing those gateways going down so late, probably thinking in that regard. So, fairly safe, landing his own and taking up behind it, looking very, very good while he does so. Meanwhile, we're going to see a Gaofushuai throwing down 2 extra gates. He's already got the Robo, so far just using it for the observers. I don't think he'll go into Immortal. The question is whether or not he'll go into Colossus. Man, these Reapers are being annoying. As we can see, already up to 10 workers killed throughout before those Reapers are finally killed. So, nicely done, Nathan. Meanwhile, we've got the Twilight Council going down. So not going into the fast Robo Bay, instead going into potentially Archons, potentially High Templars, even, the potential for Dark Templar play. Have to see what way he goes with it. +1 on the ground armor is now on the way for him. And just want to put a big shout out to the Team Liquid thread that gave me this user interface. A lot of my viewers are mobile viewers, and this is specially designed to make everything nice and easy for them to see. It's very minimalist in style. Naturally, if you have any criticisms with it or anything else you'd like me to try, this is a brand new channel. Let's try some new stuff. Send it to me, and we'll see what we settle on in the end. But I just like doing something different with it. I'm tired of doing the same old, just standard, almost play-out overlay. It's time to play with the UI. Since we don't have no game heart, this is currently what we're going with. But we'll see. Game heart does look to be becoming the new standard, so hopefully we'll see more of that in the future. Templar Archives is coming down. Gaofushuai is doing a very risky build this early on, because it does leave you open to this aggressive timing with the 2 medevacs. You don't have Colossus out at this point, and you don't really have that many units. That's why he's getting that Immortal out. Just anything he can. And we're not even seeing Storm on the way, which is incredible for me. You want to get that started as soon as possible. Right now, he needs to make some Archons. He needs to make them quick. You need splash damage to deal with this kind of army composition. And right now, Nathan is seeing that composition, and he thinks, I can do this. Mothership Core is going to fall, and all of these units are going to die. We did get the Photon Overcharge down on the Nexus, but look at how quickly these units die. And now he can stim. He's out of range of that. And these units have free range up in the main. Just doing so much damage. Right now focusing on the Robo Bay. I don't know if, the Robo Facility. Don't know if that's the correct move. I like this a lot more. Just going to kill as many probes as possible. Get a nice economic lead going further into the game. It doesn't matter now that he's going to lose these Marines. It really is not a problem, because he's got 18 kills so far on those workers. Has leveled up, well, in fact, gained himself a worker advantage, plus mules. So I very much like that from Nathan. Storm is on the way, but of course Nathan now is aware of what his opponent's doing. With that in mind, I'd like to see a Ghost Academy coming down. Just going to do a quick check. Make sure we don't have one. No, we do not have one. And instead we're going to see the double drop coming up here of just Marines Marauders. Now, we do have the Mothership Core ready, but as we can see, not enough energy just yet for that Photon Overcharge, and there are still not that many units around. Storm is only halfway done. We're seeing more units come across with the 2 extra medevacs, so it looks like Nathan wants to hit a really, really big push here. What else are we seeing going down? Just more and more barracks from him, and an armory as well at the same time. Still no Ghost Academy, and that could become a problem once this Storm is done. We do have 3 High Templars out, building energy, so they're ready with that Storm, but I don't know if it's going to be there in time, because this is a lot of medevacs and a lot of bio. We still do not have enough for a Photon Overcharge either, so only the 1 Time Warp going to be able to come out of this Mothership Core. The Zealots charging in, doing a lot of damage. Great feedbacks on those medevacs though. Means the healing power is not going to be there, reducing the ability this bio army has to fight through. Great moves by Gaofushuai. Is it enough though? Is it enough? It looks like it might just be with the Archon there as well, and Nathan is forced to retreat. Very well done by the UoM player. Meanwhile, though, Nathan does have this expansion down, which leaves him on 3 base versus 2 base. His opponent will be going up to that 3 base as well, and 3 base Protoss is scary as shit. As a Terran player, man, once you let their Protoss get 3 base, they can kill you so quickly. They just get this lovely army composition with the Charge Dots, with the Archons, with the High Templars, with Storm, and then with the 3 base economy, they can put down so many gates. They reinforce almost as fast as Zergs do. And then you're stuck in a position where just everything seems like it's going against you. So I'd like to see Nathan doing something to pull back against that. We're seeing ship weapons level 1 coming up, and I don't know if that's the right way to go. We are now seeing wherever he's building it. Here we go, the Robotics Bay coming down. So we will be seeing Colossus, but not for a good long while yet. So I'm not entirely sold on the ship weapons upgrade, but we do have a Ghost Academy coming down, so Nathan, all is forgiven. The biggest improvement in Nathan's TVP play was when he learned to build Ghosts. I'm not exaggerating there, not one little bit. Like, seriously, that was a huge moment for him in his play. And now taking down pylons, trying to unpower these cannons so they cannot help defend. The High Templars are moving in now. We're getting some pre-splits going on from Nathan, so the storms will not be that effective, but those are 2 very well placed storms. Nathan retreating against these charge lots, but he's having a hard time here. His bio is getting torn apart, and he's finding himself in a position where it's not so easy to keep going. The Protoss, however, needs to reinforce with this. He is running out of energy somewhat. Nice timing on the photon overcharge means Nathan once again is going to pull back. And so far, this is very, very interesting from both players. Nathan is very much on the offensive all the way through. We've got even more barracks coming down now. We've got 2-2 upgrades on the way, but of course his opponent already heading for that +3 armor. 4th Command Center also on the way. Nathan really trying to send his production into overdrive. Of course, his opponent knows everything that's going on because he's got 2 observers sat right in here. They've been here all game long, just being absolutely perfect for Gaofushuai. Meanwhile, though, his army's getting, well, just a little bit more scary. He's adding some Colossus to it. And as of yet, although we do have the ship weapons upgrades coming out, we don't actually have any Vikings produced for Nathan. So there's going to be a little moment where he's not going to be able to defend against that. And I think that's what Gaofushuai's plan is. Get some Colossus out, surprise Nathan with it. Well, it doesn't matter. The 2 Colossus are here now, and they are tearing this army apart, with the Psystorm coming in as well. A few sentries not even being killed. Oh, man. Nathan, in dodging the storms, though, is managing to tear through this army. The first Colossus falls. The High Templar are gone. They're morphing into Archons. The second Colossus is also on the way down. Charge Lots now tearing through the bio. The second Colossus does fall, and Nathan has bought himself some time now. He's bought himself time to get the Vikings out, to get the Ghosts out, and he is now in a great position. These barracks are done. This command center is done, and it's going to be heading up to the 4th base. I could even see that becoming another orbital command center and just really, really getting this production off the hook. Nathan is looking sick today. No way he should have been able to tear that army apart like that. That was simply really, really top-notch control from him that allowed him to negate the storms of Gaofushuai and then tear the Colossus apart. So the Colossus count reduced to 0, like I said, gives him time to get ready for it. And Ghosts are actually pretty good against Colossus. They tank a lot of that Colossus splash damage. This is still going to help him. He is going to want to start to throw a couple of Vikings in there shortly, just to help protect against it when the numbers get too high. Right now at just 2, that's fine, but once it gets to 4 or 6, you want a couple of Vikings in there with the upgrades to those weapons, just dealing out the damage. Now, Dark Shrine is on the way for Gaofushuai, even getting the Protoss Shields level 1, because why not? You've got the money, it's time to upgrade. Meanwhile, Nathan once again being aggressive on the push out as his opponent is putting down a 4th base. Now, will Gaofushuai be able to stop this push, or will Nathan finally get the break he needs. The thing about Nathan is, he's been doing very, very well. He's been taking down the army time and time again, but never having quite enough to push through and turn it into a victory. And at this point, with the scan going down, he sees that's a lot of army there. It may look small, but Protoss is just so cost efficient. So, my god, it's time for the mass cloaked ghost strats. Now, I don't think we have any nukes. But, oh my god, look at those snipes! All of the High Templar are gone! And EMPs going down everywhere! Oh! Gaofushuai now in a terrible position. Nathan smells blood in the water and he is going in. There are no storms available. The charge lots of the Colossus will do a lot here, however. So Nathan still has to be careful in how he engages. And we're seeing the Colossus getting picked off by the ghosts, but all those ghosts will die, and Nathan now in just a little bit of trouble again, having to pull back. So a really good move by him that essentially segues into him losing all the ghosts he had there and being forced to retreat again. But we do have Vikings on the way to deal with the Colossus, and those Vikings do have the +2 weapons upgrade. Meanwhile, +3 for the infantry also on the way. DT harassment time. Unfortunately, can't do anything here because it is a planetary fortress. However, we'll be able to come into these bases and start to just pick off units as and when he can. The DT's, I think, just mindlessly being moved in here. He's going to need a scan. Right now, he's pulling his army away from it. Will Nathan realise what's going on? He's going to be hearing that sound that tells him, your base is under attack, boy. Oh, EMP's the DT. I love it. That's so good. That forward pylon, though, is going to continue to be a problem. 5th base now down for Nathan, just rapidly expanding. Playing through this game like he is a Zerg player. That is the plan right now. Out-expand his opponent. Keep his economy up. And just keep going. We can see there, though, the income right now is higher for the Protoss opponent than it is for the Terran. Now, we should see some spikes in and around the what do we call it? The mules, as we see the mules there. Well, not spiking it that much right now. Spiking it. Okay, yeah, there's the spike. But that's the way Terrans work, and because of that, we can see he's already mining up bases faster than his opponent is. His Gaofushuai still has this 2nd base, and that's the reason Nathan, with this many mules, is having to expand so rapidly. And that's why even at 24.5 minutes, we're seeing this almost split map position. Now, Nathan is very, very close to a max supply, and he's going to have to do something with it shortly. See, the problem is he's allowing Gaofushuai to recover from every attack. There's no other option for him. There was no other way to do it, and now Gaofushuai once again has a pretty good army. That's a lot of Colossus in there. It's a nice High Templar behind. Good army composition, good army splits as well, to make sure that those EMPs and the snipes aren't going to be able to come off on the High Templars too easily, keeping them behind the Colossus at this point. Gaofushuai now takes the central position on the map. Nathan with a scan, though, and with that Zonaga watchtower, is going to keep an eye on where his opponent is all the time. Gaofushuai trying to reinforce with these pylons, and we're going to get an engagement. All these units are so clumped up, though. A couple of storms could wreak havoc. EMPs going down everywhere. The High Templars will move right forward into that. I don't know if Nathan has the bio, but right now it's 165 to 121. Scans going down to catch those DTs. The DTs will fall, but it's pretty much just Ghost and Landed Vikings. But Gaofushuai, he does not have the army to hold this back. Nathan is tearing through him here. And now Gaofushuai, now he's in trouble. Look at this production coming out. 7 Marauders, 4 Marines, and even 4 Vikings. Just to add, interestingly enough, to the ground army of Nathan as he moves across the map. Of course, Gaofushuai trying to reinforce as fast as he can, chrono boosting out, or should be chrono boosting out, those 2 Colossus. He needs the splash damage. More gateways going down, the warp gate cycling up. But right now, it's just such a tough position for both these players. DT's doing damage, but the scans will take them down. And there's just no way for them to keep going. I don't know if DTs were the correct move with this many orbital commands. Nathan has scans coming out of the arse right now. And this base is gonna fall. Could once again even land the Vikings just to add to that DPS. Gaofushuai right now doesn't have the army to come and fight this. Only 2 Colossus worth of splash damage right now. and that is simply not enough. But we're seeing the war pin of Zealots, a sentry in there as well, along with 2 more DTs. This base has fallen, and now it's going to need a good engagement from Nathan once again. These Colossus, though, not doing what they need to do. The Vikings just tearing through them so fast with those upgrades. There's not enough ground army to hold it back, and Nathan now in complete control of this match. It's 178 supply to 85. Gaofushuai drops the well played and leaves the game. Another great game there by Mythology's Nathan, showing how far his play has come in the recent past. As always, I've been your host, Jesse Voctor Rain. For more from us, find the website, that's right, we have a website, at clan-myth.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all